Hey guys, it's Eric from Ride Designs again. I'm going to go over how to install our bed brace on Gen 1 Raptors. So we already removed the tail lights, but what you're going to do and what you're going to need is an 8mm socket. There's 2 bolts up here, down here. You're going to remove those 2. Make sure not to lose them. Remove the tail light. You could let the tail light hang, but I think it's easier to just take off the light bulbs. You're going to set that off to the side. Once you remove the tail lights, you're going to move forward with installing the actual bed brace. In your package, you're going to receive all the necessary hardware, which will be the bolts, nuts, and washers. This is an additional option, which is the backing plate, which will act as a really big washer for the inside of your bed. This truck, for instance, the bed is so split that when you tighten the washers, it started to bubble here, the top and the bottom, because the bed is so open. So what we opted for is including this as an option, which will be on the inside, and it will press the entire bed in instead of just these 2 pressure points, which in theory should help prevent the bubbling from happening. So the first step when installing the bed brace, if you ordered the "my bed is really fucked" option, is this very thick plate that will go on the inside where the tail light is. You got to make sure that the short side goes facing upwards, the thicker side is facing downwards. To install it, there's a little hole down there. Yep, right there we see the light coming in from. You will go under it and slide the plate up. Be very careful with the wiring harnesses, you don't want to pinch anything. And once it's in, you just twist it and it'll hold in place. Mind that if you did not order the extra support, you could just skip that step. Now, for the bed brace, you will line it up like that. Kind of get it in position and use the bolts to kind of. So we went ahead and threaded in the bolts and nuts by hand just to get it into place evenly on both sides. If you ordered the "my bed is very fucked" option, the plates act as a washer, so you don't really need to put them if you don't want to. If you didn't buy the extra plate, then these bigger washers are going to be provided for you. So to install it, you're going to need 2 24mm sockets. The top ones are fairly easy to install. You just kind of on both ends. You could even use an impact to tighten them. Be very careful to do it very evenly. As for the bottom ones, you'll need a shallow 24mm socket. I'm going to opt for the impact for the top ones, and the smaller ratchet with the long socket. Put it up inside. A couple of the divots. Go to the other side. Pull out the divots. And just kind of go back and forth. This is very critical if your bed is pretty split, because you don't want to pull one end harder than the other. You kind of want to go evenly on both ends. So you just keep doing that. So once the top ones are pretty flush with the bottom, you can start tightening the bottom ones. We really like a swivel head type thing. It really helps when tightening down the bottom one, because you don't have very much room to work with here. So once you have it into place, you can start tightening. So as I mentioned earlier, this is probably one of the worst Raptor beds we've ever seen. It used to be able to fit an entire hand. So unfortunately, these bed braces do not create miracles, and it will not fix your bed. All it will do is prevent future bed spread, and in this case, it did pull in the bed a little bit, but you will have these weird gaps in between there. You can't really notice, but that's just because your bed was so split and there's only so much you can pull it forward. So yeah, that's pretty much it installed. You will just have to put your taillights back on and tighten those in, and you should be good to go.